Hey gang, Kevin here with Fantasy Football University, and I just wanted to take a look at a feature that a lot of players have mentioned they wish they knew more about when they first started playing Dynasty. Now, it's not a feature that really exists in the redraft world, so it's definitely one that is a bit of a learning curve when you first move over. So currently on the Sleeper app, looking at one of my own teams, BC Blue. You can also find me as BC Buckets. Feel free to say hi if you ever see me in Sleeper. Now, first thing we're going to do is pop into the league settings just so we can show you what it all looks like. General settings, league settings. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. We're pretty darn close anyway. So the first thing that we're going to look for are the taxi squad slots. This can be adjusted to whatever number you're really wanting. Three to five is typically standard. And then the really important piece right here is the allow non-rookies for taxi. Now, if this is toggled off, the only players that can be in your taxi squad, not surprisingly, are your rookies. Toggled on, and you get to make a decision. Now, I typically will only ever see non-rookies rookies or first years and rookies. So this is players with 1 year of experience or rookies, and that's what we currently have set here. And then the last one to take a quick look at is the taxi squad deadline. Now, very standard is the start of regular season. I haven't actually seen any other variants, though I'm sure they are out there. Start of regular season is what I would always use for my particular league. So, all right, so now let's pop back to the team and let's take a look at the actual taxi squad itself. So this team is built as a rebuild, so I am definitely wanting to maximize my taxi squad, as you can see with some fun draft picks down here for next year. Now, looking at the taxi squad, we have Rasheen Ali, Jatavian Sanders, and Smith, who is a wide receiver for Philadelphia. Now, when I went through the draft quite a while back, I thought Smith might actually have a little chance to pop off. He was getting a little bit of talk. He has looked absolutely terrible during training camp thus far, so I might move him out of this, but we're going to take a little look at that in a second. So what's really important to look at for the taxi squad is, as mentioned previously, it does lock as soon as we get to the beginning of regular season. During this time right now, we can move players in and out as long as they fall into the category of first year players or rookies. We can move them in and out freely as much as we want right up until the season locks. Now, once the season starts, that all changes. Any players that are on there, those are the only players that can be on the taxi squad. You cannot move any new players onto the taxi squad starting the regular season. More importantly, if you need to move a player out of the taxi squad, say for instance, I've got Jatavian Sanders here, he starts popping off. I want to take advantage of that. I move him into my team. I can no longer put him back into the taxi squad. That spot will be empty for the rest of the regular season. So this is something to really keep in mind in terms of how you want to utilize this spot. It is definitely more used for players that are your long-term projects. A couple other players that I've actually really been targeting for this particular spot, Spencer Rattler, Jordan Travis, Theo Johnson, although Theo Johnson is maybe coming into play a little bit more. Now let's take a quick look if we do want to make some changes. So again, we're going to move Smith out of here. He's going to move over to the bench. So there he is. And now I've got an empty spot on my taxi. So I can click on taxi and scroll up, and I can start seeing all the players who qualify to go into that role or into that spot. Just for an example, I'm going to put Theo Johnson down there. And there we go. So now Theo Johnson is in there. And as we start the regular season, that would lock. He can be on there. But again, if I take him off, I cannot put him back on. The nice thing, though, is if we make these changes preseason, now I can take Smith and actually move him off the team, whether it's through a waiver or whatever I need to do, trades, what have you. And my taxi squads are still set up as they need to be. Now, if you have any questions about the taxi squads, please don't hesitate. Reach out, send me messages through the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can on that. And yeah, from there, Hopefully you can take advantage of it. Hopefully you can stretch that and find some of those nice dart throws that are going to pay off this time next year.